Maui burns, Biden demands another $24 billion for Ukraine. I'm not a big fan of federal government disaster relief. The money never gets to those who need it most, and Washington's armies of disaster experts are more interested in pushing people around. Nevertheless, it's hard to look at the devastation in Maui and then hear President Biden tell Congress that he needs another $24 billion for Ukraine, while the rest of the United States disintegrates. Biden's new $24 billion request comes on top of well over $120 billion.
So why aren't you taking care of what you claim to be in charge of rather than sending out all these funds and whatever else you guys are sending to Ukraine or anywhere? Take care of here first. You know, I don't see why any president wouldn't step up and take care of what's part of their, territory. I think it's a stupid move on his part. Biden, yeah, he's an idiot. Sorry. No.
What up, y'all? Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage, smoking off social media, killing ourselves for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Let's get into this. Y'all see in the title, man. Y'all see it in the title, the things that I will be discussing today. I do got another report that's coming out from...
Get your free Thomas Sowell ebook, Trickle Down Theory and Tax Cuts for the Rich. Sowell...
I don't really know how to start this, but I just wanted to spread the message to people on mainland about what's really going on here, because the media isn't doing us any good at all. We're not okay. We're not okay. We are emotionally damaged. A lot of people are physically injured. A lot of people have lost their family members. Only 25% of the burn zone has been searched, and there's already been 110 deaths. And it hasn't been the high impact burn zone. Like, we're there's over 1,300 people without a roof over their head right now, me included. I'm lucky enough to have friends, but all of us are they're putting us in 30-day hotel stays in order to find everybody houses. But in a place where it's hard enough to find housing and hard enough to find jobs as it is, now that there is more people looking for jobs and there is less houses available on the island, everybody's f***ed. And the thing for me is that I have never seen so many people come together and give up their own beds for people that just lost their house. But that's the problem. It's that nobody else is doing anything. Nobody is helping. It's all Kanaka. People that live are the only ones that are helping at all. And that doesn't go to say that all of the people on mainland are doing anything wrong. It's not your fault, but the government helping it all. And nobody seems to have any idea what's going on over here. This is the biggest natural disaster. It's caused the most deaths in U.S. history. Isn't there more going on? I've calmed down.
They freaking out there. They freaking out. They're freaking out. They're freaking out. Yo, this report that I'm finna go back to, I just wanted y'all to see firsthand people's actual statements from the island before we get deep off into this and think like, oh man,
All right, guys. So we got to talk about the Maui.
We just up here covering false information. Now, this is the report that I actually got my updated from, so I'm sharing it out with you. You know, we do got to talk about it before they talk about it and stuff like that, because I don't want YouTube talking about it. I'm just watching people's video. But the scrutiny of people, this right here can hurt Joe Biden, because a lot of people get to see that he only wants to do this little bit of effect to America, but then he wants America to vote for him because the Biden recession is over with. Let him say it. But this right here, this report right here freaked me out. And I had to hurry up and do this report and share it with you guys because it was amazing that this is going on. I can't believe that we voted, or you voted, for Joe Biden, and he doesn't want to give you, us, American citizens, nothing but $700 and put you up in 30-day hotel for a small island that doesn't have resources to put you up in a home. Let's see.
Maui wildfires, which was one of the worst natural disasters that we've ever seen in this country's history. Okay, you had a raging wildfire that destroyed a town and the livelihoods of thousands of people. The death toll is over 100 now, with thousands of people still missing and or displaced. However, recovery efforts are under the way.
A lack of timely warnings and a siren system that stayed silent, among many issues being investigated in the deadly fire's aftermath. Maui's emergency management chief defended his decision not to sound the alarms.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. Even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside.
The comprehensive review that I've asked the Attorney General to do will include that.
Make me cry. And over 20 years I staying in my house.
Many returning residents barely able to cope with what they're seeing.
It's hard to take in, just seeing all this devastation. I don't know what to think.
Hawaii Governor Josh Green says it's possible over 1,000 people remain unaccounted for. This is Maui police report that less than half of the burn zone has been searched.
We have more than 40 canine teams. We've got hundreds of search and rescue personnel that are going through the burned areas.
The governor also promising to block those who try to exploit vulnerable residents.
My intention from start to finish is to make sure that no one is victimized from a land grab. I've instructed the Attorney General to work toward a moratorium on any transactions.
The realtors, everyone who's trying to snatch land, take a step back.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Yeah, so you're seeing that, you heard that. Recovery efforts are under the way. Okay, things still don't look great for the island. There's all types of rumors that are swirling around in regards to what will happen to the natives and the residents there when it comes to their homes, their properties. Will they be taken away? Will they be bought up by billionaires? What is going to happen in the rebuilding process? A lot of people are asking questions. However, I think most people are concerned about the here and now. What is being done now in response to this disaster? And a lot of people are taking issue with the commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, who's supposed to be showing leadership in a situation like this, seemingly uninterested, not interested at all in talking about what's going on with Maui, or even showing up to Maui to show some support and leadership for the American.
Now, this part right here, ladies and gentlemen that are watching, shocked the life out of me. I did not think that this man would not take the time out to have a discussion, say anything, put a report, and then when he does this very small little America, a place that he likes to go visit, let people tell it. And then for him to supposedly be going out here to visit and be going on vacation. And then he's here in Nevada for vacation. I just want to put that out there. This is all in the report. We're gonna talk
Americans
about
who've
it.
had their lives destroyed by this wildfire. But so it seems Biden, as of now, doesn't really have much to say about it. And when he does talk about it, he doesn't seem to remember the name of the island that was devastated by the wildfire. And he really only had
Maui. If I don't know if y'all ever really watching my shows, but do know that the president that y'all voted for out there in Maui, if you did vote for president, he don't even know the name. He can't even say Maui. He said that big island. Man, come on, man. I'm only putting out there because this is just easy cakewalk of a story to do.
has $700 to offer the people there who are struggling, while billions of dollars go towards Ukraine.
The Army helicopters help fire suppression and efforts on the Big Island because there's still some burning on the Big Island, not the one where you see on television all the time. FEMA also authorized one-time payment of $700 per household for folks who've been displaced, so they can do the immediate things of just taking care.
Why can't you give a couple of racks? $5,000.
Care of medications and prescriptions that they so badly need.
And you have people that are starting to speak out about this and voice their displeasure for the Biden administration's response to this disaster. Take a look.
So let us get back to our island. We can survive. If the United States government help us, maybe Japan going, they love Hawaii. Maybe one other country, but if they can freaking take care of Ukraine, yeah, $40 billion go to Ukraine. Fucking shit ain't coming to us. What the fuck? My tax-paying money for 60 fucking years don't mean shit. But they're gonna take care of Ukraine, 40 fucking billion.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update.
You mentioned the community, but are you getting enough help from the government?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, CNN, who seems to love Joe Biden, who seems to can say nothing negative about about Joe Biden until I get later on in the segment where you're gonna hear them say some things that's gonna be shocking that you probably never would hear CNN say. But this story, this lady right here, and her expressions to the lady who interviewed Trump. Remember, she interviewed Trump, fact checked Trump in real life time, and everybody commended her. She did a good job. So this lady has maybe not the best credibility, but she has credibility. So this interview means something. 25% of the fire has been what? Searched. 111 people dead. Over thousands of people are still missing. And you got stories like this to only send $700.
Tonight?
Okay.
My parents received a check for $700, which was a slap in the face. The $700 was given by the government, and I feel like it's not enough. Living in Hawaii, you spend groceries. You know everything is so expensive. Groceries can be as much as $700 just for one grocery run, and it's not enough. And right now, the Maui community is helping the Maui community. And it's really affected me because where's the president? He decides to come here this week, to come here next week.
Why she not fact checking him? Sorry, ma'am, that's incorrect. Biden is helping. Biden is doing something. You know, she's not saying that. She's not trying to interrupt. She's not trying to do none of that old speculating good stuff like she used to. She's doing none of that. Come on.
I mean, like, where Aren't we Americans too? Like, we're part of the United States, but why are we not? Why are we getting put in the back pocket? Why are we being ignored? And I feel like these families need aid right away, and they're being turned away.
Yeah, don't worry. Biden's on the way to take another vacation, which, guys, I want you to understand. No administration has taken more vacations than the Biden administration in a long time. Okay. This guy has been on vacation for basically a third of his presidency. And he was on vacation when the disaster initially happened and he was asked about it. He had nothing to say. And now he's taking a vacation on the way to go and show up and actually show his face on the island to be there and show support. He's taking a vacation on the way to the island. Again, this is just despicable behavior. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Okay. He's in Nevada at Lake Tahoe. Okay?
President Biden has arrived in Nevada for his plan.
The hell you doing here in Nevada, in Las Vegas? I don't care. What are you doing here in Nevada? Nevadians, we should be kicking him out of the state. Leave. You don't need to be here on no vacation. You need to be pulling up in the biggest jet plane that's ever been built on American soil. You don't need to be here. You supposed to be in Maui. You could have took that vacation in Maui at Oprah's place out there that I don't know. I heard a report that she had a place out there. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying. What are you doing here?
Planned visit to Lake Tahoe. This is video of his plane when it landed around 8:30 tonight. He's in Tahoe with First Lady Jill Biden, and they're expected to spend the weekend there before heading to Maui. It's unclear what the president and First Lady plan to do in Lake Tahoe. No official events have been announced.
Yeah, so nobody knows what the hell they're doing in Lake Tahoe, what they're supposed to be doing, but apparently what they're supposed to be doing is more important than Maui, okay? And I just want to remind you guys real quick of how a real leader would handle situations like this. Like, for example, Trump and how he handled the situation with Hurricane Harvey down in Texas, how he showed up almost immediately to show support and to help the citizens there.
President Trump traveling to storm-ravaged Texas today to offer some reassurances to the Lone Star State.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to say we love you. You are special. We're here to take care.
Touring a local emergency operations center.
The world is watching, and the world is very impressed with what you're doing.
And vowing to local officials that they will have the federal support they need.
We're going to be working with Congress on helping out the state of Texas. It's going to be a costly proposition. Probably there's never been anything so expensive in our country's history.
Mr. President, thank you. Thank you.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott praised the Trump administration's response so far, saying federal officials have kept a low profile, but offered vital assistance behind the scenes.
This
People got to understand Hurricane Katrina
game
was one of the worst national disasters, too, that happened on this area.
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.
Yeah, so clear example of the stark difference in leadership from the Biden administration and the Trump administration when a natural disaster happens, right? That is America first versus America last, which Biden openly admitted that, you know, he doesn't like America first. America first is apparently bad for America. It's bad for the world. But again, you see the results of America last, okay, from Biden. And again, the most messed up part about all of this is that Biden is playing politics with the money that Hawaii or Maui could potentially receive in regards to recovery, because FEMA is running out of money, okay, in about a month or so. They're not going to have enough money because there's been a ton of natural disasters that have happened over a few years that have dried up the funding that FEMA had. So now Congress needs to reauthorize more money for FEMA, and instead of actually just having a individual bill where you would fund FEMA, which means more funds would go to Hawaii's recovery. No. He's actually tying FEMA funding, which is funding for Maui. He is tying that funding to funding in Ukraine. Again, I'm not making this up. This is exactly what he's doing.
If y'all don't hit that like button, share button, tell a friend what you about to witness and hear, okay? Because it's finna go down, bro. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Please pay attention, okay? All right? All right.
Hey, good morning, everybody. On my way to the Hawaii State Capitol this morning, but hey, I wanted to come on briefly and talk about some of the issues happening nationally and how the federal government is going to help out with the relief in Maui. Some folks may not know that FEMA, the Federal Disaster Emergency Management Agency, is basically running broke. They are out of money. So Congress is trying to get FEMA more money. So Biden's administration just a couple days ago requested that Congress provide FEMA with $12 billion to extend the relief for Maui. But attached to that supplemental relief was $24.1 billion for Ukraine. Now, guys, once again, why couldn't the Biden administration specifically ask for money just for Maui's disaster? But instead, he tied $24 billion for Ukraine. Once again, Maui, just $12 billion. Ukraine, $24 billion attached to that, which means if you don't vote for this supplemental request, then you are denying Maui $12 billion. He is holding Hawaii hostage. He is holding FEMA hostage. He is holding congressmen and senators who don't want to give $24 billion of our taxpayer dollars more to Ukraine. And if they don't vote for this, they'll make like, oh, these guys just don't care about Maui. They don't care about Hawaii.
How many people out there that's watching right now or watching whenever you want to watch, please put down in the comments. I appreciate it. How many of y'all want to give $24 billion to Ukraine instead of giving that 30, what's that, 34, 30, $40 million to Maui, fix up people, man, people be straight. You know why they wouldn't do that? Because reparations, people, black folks in America be like, man, where's my reparations? You just gave American who, what, how much? You couldn't give black people who built this, as somebody keeps saying, but they didn't actually build this country. That's why they don't want to do that. But that's sad that they're even pulling this right here. It's sad.
This is ridiculous. Biden should be ashamed of himself, and any politician here in Hawaii who supports this administration and the corruption and just the sidelining that they're doing should be ashamed of themselves. Maui needs help. America needs to come through for our 50th state, and $24 billion for Ukraine should not be attached to our supplemental requests. Click on this link right here because Civil Beat did report on this morning, and there are both Republicans and Democrats who are asking for Congress to give FEMA more money. But why attach $24 billion for Ukraine to it? That's just ridiculous. Just some morning thoughts, guys. Have a great day and God bless. Aloha.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays.
Yeah, well, the reason why is because Biden is more concerned about playing politics than he is about helping out the American people. I want you guys to understand how sick and disgusting this move is from the Biden.
Now, you see the report. Go look at this up on TikTok. See how many people that don't like this, that's seeing this go down. Okay? All right? I'm on me. Y'all can go see how many people who is actually watching that go down. That's going down. Y'all seen the reports? Y'all heard it. Okay? I'm just trying to help y'all, help me, help each other, help all of us show that, man, look, this is not how we feel as Americans. I want to give my money to Maui and help them out and not go through a whole nother country. That's basically Think about that. I know y'all don't. I know anybody don't, but that's basically what's going. We want to go to Hawaii. We got to go through Ukraine just to get to Maui. Stop playing. Um, that's why things are so expensive and out of whack because we always did on the other. That's why the youth, young people, like I don't want old people in office. Stuff like that. That little bitty stuff like that is one of the true indications of why. It's stupid, man. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I wish that this other video that I'm looking for, hold on, give me a second, I'm looking for pops up. I need this other video so bad. Yes, yes, y'all. To the beach, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. To the beach, y'all. No. When are we gonna stand up and say like, yo, this is wrong? But I understand there's people that's supporting this and that's full throttle supporting it. I actually talked to a guy at my job, you know what I'm saying? Good person, but he's actually for the Biden administration. He believes Biden administration is doing nothing wrong. I was just like, and you can't knock people that feels that way. You just got to understand that people out there feel that way. Hopefully that you can come with enough information to maybe sway them, and that's what I be trying to do. That's be my idea is to try to find enough um enough information to where people say like, hey, maybe this information, maybe it's not enough information. And you know what I'm saying? The one reason that you know what I'm saying, people give, please don't tell me you gotta be giving out reasons just because of the United States. That stuff is ridiculous. Now, to get into further notice, we're gonna get into Trump. Remember earlier, if y'all was watching, I don't know if y'all been watching, but earlier I told y'all I had this segment, or my guy found this segment on CNN admitting that Trump was right. I can't believe that I seen that. I watched it, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Like, man, remember, this is a marijuana channel. We can smoke weed. Y'all chill out, smoke weed, learn some stuff, roll some blunts, and feel proud and obligated. Not obligated, but feel proud that you can smoke and agree or disagree with somebody. If you disagree with me, put a thumbs up, put a thumbs down. It really doesn't matter. I highly appreciate it. Any input, you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that we may agree. But y'all, this was the shocker for me. I finna play the video.
Are you sick of having
them
issues with your
saying,
webinars?
CNN saying Trump was right? Would y'all ever believe? Would you ever believe that we can pull up some information like this? This is stuff that, you know what I'm saying? And another reason why I do this, y'all, check this out. Another reason why I do this is because I'm doing good. I appreciate it. Another reason why I do this is because I know a lot of people don't like watching the news. I understand y'all don't like watching the news. Like, man, I gotta work. I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to smoke a little weed, try to have a little sex. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do news. You know what I'm saying? I like watching YouTube. So I just figured like it's a lot of things going out there before your marijuana industry loving smoking people. You can't watch the news and smoke weed. It just feels nice. So maybe it feels a little bit better that somebody can sit here and smoke weed with you and watch the news with you. Maybe it's a little bit more enjoying that we can discuss something like, man, you know what? That dude wrong as hell. It is some good ass weed. That's what I'm trying to bring together and unite. The debates, the talks, the information. If y'all want anything to discuss some things, man, please hit me up, inbox me. But let's try her this.
He had knowledge that his family was money laundering. He had to. You think the Treasury?
Well, money, but money laundering. Look,
if there's evidence of money laundering, which is a crime, which is a federal crime, then obviously your committee should report it to the
And
FBI
that's
and
why
the
the
Justice
judge
Department.
kicked it out. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons the Delaware judge rejected the sweetheart plea deal.
The judge,
there was clearly violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act and money laundering.
Right. Republican Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, Kentucky. You'll come back when you got more to talk about.
We'll work with you, Jake.
All
Thanks for having me.
Several days later.
Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about CNN. Jake Tapper, more specifically, who last time I did a video about him, he was sparring with James Comer, the Republican in Congress that is leading the investigation into the Biden crime family and their influence peddling operation overseas. Now, Jake Tapper is skeptical, which should be no surprise. I mean, he is a Democrat Party shill. And of course, he's going to be skeptical, okay? A lot more skeptical than he would be of the Democrats and their conspiracy theory. However, Jake Tapper took to the air to actually admit something that I thought would never come out in the mouth of a CNN Democrat Party propagandist, which is that Trump was right and Biden was wrong, specifically when it comes to Hunter Biden's business deals overseas, his family taking money from foreign entities. And again,
I think he's going to say it, but let me break this down in the beginning before we get into this, before we get any deeper. The reason why this is such a big deal, y'all, because some of y'all may know, some of y'all might know. This is 5 years ago. All of this stuff came out 5 years ago. So we've been fighting 5 years to even break wind news and put this into the light. We've been looking for the smoking gun and where they say is smoke is fire. We've been looking for all of this. So now everything is starting to come out. And the reason is like I said, a big story is because if this would have came out before the election, a lot of y'all wouldn't have voted for Democrats. If all of this would have came out, what? This son, a crackhead? You not taking him to rehab? He getting paid in Ukraine and China, which don't have they're not our allies. Oh man, we tripping. That's why this is a big issue. That's why you see a little bit more and more. And for my black people, when they be like, where you get your information from? I'm like, hey, I get it from my black community. I don't want to hear nothing.
Jake Tapper's actually going to say this out loud on his show. And I think it's pretty noteworthy that CNN is actually admitting at least some of the truth.
And Kristen, Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post had a fact check about Joe Biden from earlier this month, noting that Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this
if y'all would have known that back in 2017, 2018, that this man is dealing with the country, getting money, bribery, money, putting in your pockets, money from the two countries who have no interest in us, who's Ukraine, we done spend $40 billion, if you already done heard. Come on, y'all. People have been calling me crazy. People have been calling me whatever. But now that I got the receipts, we're going to see what happened. I'm telling y'all this story because, like, you're going to see later on in another story a little bit down the line, probably nothing's going to happen to him. Joe Biden, nothing's probably going to happen to him. Probably get out, retire. I'm telling you, they're going to make a movie about him. That's what's going to happen. Everybody going to go see it and not think about Joe Biden. I'm like, man, it's the Biden movie. Laptop found in a shop. 5 years later, man, all on the news. President, oh, come on, man.
And this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
Sorry.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China.
What you
None
became
of that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
So it's from two different debates, but I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was.
Oh, they'll even, you be what to ask yourself. I be what to ask y'all, is they even allowed to say that on CNN? Is he allowed to say that? Do he still got a job? Huh? Did he just switch sides? Is he anti-LBGT? Huh? You can't say that on CNN. This ain't CNN, y'all. This one of them AI programs. That's one of them AIs. You know, AI taking over Disney and stuff.
Was wrong. I don't know that he was lying about it. He might not have been told by Hunter, but this blind spot is a problem.
It's a problem, one, because Republicans aren't going to let it go, that's for sure. But also, these problems are continuing through the legal system. It's not as though this is something that's been settled in other jurisdictions and Republicans are just harping on it. It is an ongoing thing in our courts. It's not going anywhere.
This is a blind spot. Does it concern you as a Democrat?
Well, I think dads sometimes and parents sometimes have blind spots about their kids for sure, and the president may be no exception. But nothing has tied the president to any of Hunter Biden's dealings. There's no whiff of him being involved or him being implicated in it. And it's, you know,
I'm gonna just say it for you guys. He needs to be drug tested. Okay. When people say the total opposite of what's going on, when you got the facts right there in your face and you're looking at them, you need to be drug tested.
I think it's not something the voters care a lot about.
All right, my thanks to the panel.
Amazing, absolutely amazing segment. Okay, you have Jake Tapper, who again is skeptical, admitting that Trump was right and Biden was wrong about Hunter Biden taking money from overseas, from foreign entities. And you would think that as a journalist, right, you would start asking more questions about what is Joe Biden lying about, right? Why do we have WhatsApp text messages showing that Hunter Biden basically, you know, threatened to put his father on the phone or something like that in negotiations with some of his business partners overseas? Joe Biden also was on the phone allegedly with Hunter Biden while Hunter Biden was with his business partners. He did speak with Hunter Biden's business partners, despite the fact that Joe Biden came out here and said that he did not do that he never spoke with Hunter Biden's business partners. Now we know that he actually did speak with Hunter Biden's business partners. Not only did he speak with Hunter Biden's business partners, but he also had meetings with Hunter Biden's business partners, dinners. Okay. Also, he flew Hunter Biden out on Air Force 2 to China for Hunter to meet with business associates. He wrote Devin Archer a letter apologizing to Devin Archer for being too busy with the Chinese president, right? To, I guess, meet Devin Archer, to talk to Devin Archer. We just found out that Joe Biden was using a fake name as vice president to essentially coordinate with his son in regards to his schedule in Ukraine that coincides with Joe Biden's actions in Ukraine that just so happened to benefit Hunter Biden, who was on the board of Burisma. I think CNN should be asking.
Now, what the black folks at talking about, man, you can't be using nicknames and alias. That's a black people thing, man. We give each other nicknames and codes and stuff like that, like the FBI, and people ain't been doing that, and spies ain't been going on for years. But no, that's a black thing. That's a black culture, y'all. Joe Biden can't be doing that. He's stealing from the blacks. Damn them white folks stealing from the blacks, stealing code names and nicknames. Can't.
A whole lot of questions about this stuff, because I do think that the American people do care about Joe Biden and his foreign business dealings overseas, alleged foreign business dealings overseas, backed up by the fact that polls have consistently shown that if the Hunter Biden laptop story was not suppressed, it would have swung the outcome of the election in 2020, right? It would have affected the outcome. We probably would have Trump in office and not Biden. But hey, the good thing is that we do have some good journalists left in this country. Very few people like Peter Doocy, who's on the job of actually asking the questions that they should be asking on CNN instead of living in denial of reality.
Right now, he is preparing for an international summit, and officials around here are trying to put the focus on problems overseas. That is because, as you will see right here, things at home are not looking so good for the White House right now.
Hey, President Biden.
Not much depth today at the White House or in Scranton.
Can you tell us about your Hawaii trip, sir?
No, not now.
Or at Joint Base Andrews.
Are you willing to share what your goals are for the summit, sir?
Not till I finish them.
The silence comes as Americans struggle financially. Just 35% of voters say their personal financial situation is excellent or good. 65% say it's fair or poor in a new Fox poll. Grocery prices are a problem for 87%, gas prices for 85%, utility costs for 81%, leaving just 3 in 10 voters satisfied with how things are going in the country. All of this undermines President Biden's boasting about Bidenomics yesterday.
Guess what? It's working.
That's his House.
Bidenomics, ain't where Black Lives Matters at? Huh? Where they at? Cause he done stole another. He done stole another nickname. He got slang. He done stole slang. I think black people started that. I'm not sure. Don't ask me. I'm just thinking. I done seen it on TikToks and stuff. Y'all done seen it on TikTok. Biden done stole slang. Economic is working. Where? Hell.
Republicans wonder, is Joe Biden Robert Peters? Oversight Committee Chair James Comer writes to the National Archives on May 27, 2016. Vice President Biden took a call with the president of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko. It is concerning to the committee, however, that this document was sent to Robert L. Peters, a pseudonym the committee has identified as then Vice President Biden, adding, quote, Joe Biden has stated there was an absolute wall between his family's foreign business schemes and his duties as vice president.
What I will do is the same thing we did in our administration. There will be an absolute wall between personal and private and the government.
But evidence reveals that access was wide open for his family's influence peddling. At the time, the Obama-Biden administration said aliases are normal.
If they are inundated in one account with either public emails or spam or the like, that they can continue to use their other account for normal work.
That doesn't explain everything, and this president is now going to need somebody new to explain things to investigators because the White House counsel Stuart Dellery is leaving. Officials around here haven't told us who the new top lawyer is going to be, but whoever that person is, on their first day, they're going to have a full inbox.
So Joe Biden did get confronted about his son and him being under special counsel investigation while on his overseas trip with the leaders of Japan and South Korea. Take a look.
President, on a domestic matter, what is your reaction to the special counsel appointment last week into your son? Thank you.
Well, first of all, look, there's not much, if anything, I agree on with my predecessor on foreign policy. His America First policy, walking away from the rest of the world, has made us weaker, not stronger. America's strong with our allies and our alliances, and that's why we will endure. And it's a strength that, quite frankly, increases all or three of our strengths. This is just about one summit. What makes today different is it actually launching a series of initiatives that are actually institutional changes in how we deal with one another. And security, cooperation, economic cooperation, technology cooperation.
Anybody tripping out the blind lady facial expression when she be hitting talking? I know y'all listening to what he said because he's not even answering the question. Technically, I'm just gonna be 100. He not answering the question. But Miss Lady, I'll just go back just a little bit since y'all already heard. Like her facial expression of Joe Biden is I'm sorry, just a little funny.
What makes today's different is it actually launching a series of initiatives that are actually institutional changes in how we deal with one another. And security cooperation, economic cooperation, technology cooperation, development cooperation, consultation exercises. And all of this will create its own momentum, I believe, year by year, month by month, to make the relationship stronger and more certain to remain, to be in place. And with regard on these results, I think are going to keep it going, and I think they're going to benefit all our countries. And with regard to the second question, I have no comment on any investigation that's going on. That's up to the Justice Department, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, so no surprises that Joe Biden has no comment, but he has to take a jab at Trump, a jab that, in my opinion, is just like this guy is claiming that America First policies actually weakened us on the world stage when that's just objectively not true. Okay, America First policies actually has made us stronger on the world stage. I mean, look at the fact that we did not have any new wars under Trump.
Which is true. Everybody like to say that, and then don't nobody like to admit that. But you know, we put that to the side. We don't bring up everything. You know, we're not gonna hurt little Joe Biden's heart or feelings when it comes to things like that, sir. That's not what we here for. It's not what we do. Good man. We're gonna be nice to Trump. Now this video right here was funny to me, and it's one of those stories where you hear yourself like, if you can do it, I can do it. And this was like a good one. No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
If you carry a gun,
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I seen this one, I was like, you know what? This is almost the same thing with what Trump doing, but they trying to get him in Georgia for. I had to say it. I was like, hell, it's funny when people find proof of things that are going on. I'll be like, man, I'll be like, oh, interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, this lady right here. Hold on, let me put it right here so you see her name. Did the same thing that Trump is doing in Atlanta, talking about she lost an election. Nothing happened to her. She didn't go to jail. No, nothing. I'm gonna let y'all see, because this is when I seen this, I was like, I had to sit down like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? Yeah.
Access to the right to vote and constricted not only that, but the ability of election workers to do their jobs.
Do you still maintain that the 2018 Georgia election was stolen?
It was stolen from the voters of Georgia. We do not know what they would have done because not every eligible Georgian was permitted to participate fully in the election.
Trump said he didn't lose, and he going to jail over it. But Stacey Abrams can spend her whole life saying she didn't lose, and there's nothing there? Georgian Democrats' positions of power. Now, I will say this, and some of y'all not going to like it, but I'm going to say it anyway because I believe this in my heart. When people keep saying cheating, I think in the presidential election, there was a lot of nefarious things that could have cost President Trump his position as the president of the United States of America. But that does not mean that every single place in every single state people are cheating. Because with this woman, as prominent as she was, as much weirdness as she was doing, never conceding to her race loss, she still got her head beat in by Brian Kemp in the state of Georgia. He won by a landslide. So I just want to throw that out there. Then let's talk about Stacey Abrams. Donald Trump said, listen to what she said and think in your mind that if President Trump said the same thing that she said, and why is she not in trouble? And they act like President Trump is a terrorist for denying that he lost the election. Roll the clip.
And I do have one very affirmative statement to make. We won, but I didn't lose. I got the votes, but we won't know exactly how many because of how they cheated. I did win my election. I just didn't get to have the job. We were robbed of an election.
Using the word rigged, using the word steal. Do you think it's dangerous going into 2020?
I don't, because we can actually back it up. And so in response to what I believe was a stolen election, and I'm not saying they stole it from me, they stole it from the voters of Georgia. Back to when outside asked if I'm ever going to concede. The answer is no.
This is not a speech of concession, because concession means to acknowledge an action is right, true, or proper. And I will not concede because the erosion of our democracy is not right. People like
That don't sound like Jake Trump. That don't sound like him. That sound like fully. Hot damn.
Steal your election. It was not a free and fair election. I think the election.
Don't get mad at me if I say this. Trump stole that idea from her. Yeah, I said it. Trump stole that idea from her. She came up with a first Trump like, you know what, that one lady, she said that they stole it. I'm finna say it too. I'm finna say it too.
Georgia. I believe it was stolen from the voters. Thousands of Georgians had their voices stolen because they were not able to cast ballots, and they cannot be guaranteed that their votes will be counted in 2020 if we don't do this right.
If what happens to you happens nationally, and we see whoever wins the Democratic nominee, if they say, actually, I can prove that there's a number of votes in every state and that the same thing that you just described happens in multiple states, should they concede?
I do not think we should concede an election until we know the results of an election. I still fundamentally.
Like 5 minutes of her saying this, y'all. I'm in minute 1 and 30 seconds almost. How in the state of Georgia, where President Trump got indicted, how is it okay for her to say these things, but Trump can't say these things? She pretty much said the president of the United States that believe that these things are happening should not concede. She said it out of her own mouth. But since he's a Democrat, nobody cares, and it's totally fine. Hillary Clinton, I could pull another highlight tape of Hillary Clinton saying the same thing. It was stolen. It's illegitimate. They stole it from the voters. I mean, all of the same things that Donald Trump is saying is the same thing that she's saying. How is it not reasonable that Donald Trump believed that he was in the same position she was in? You know the reason why Stacey Abrams is not in a political position? Because she has no proof of what she's saying. So if she has no proof of what she's saying, she's pushing it in the public for 5 minutes straight of highlight tapes, then Donald Trump having no proof of what he's saying, how are they any different?
I'm going to stop it right there. If you care, I'm going to stop it right there. If you do right care, because something's a little fishy over there. Just saying. If y'all don't think nothing, just a tad bit, just a little bit fishy, just a little bit off with some of this thing. And y'all see how I be, I'm just coming to y'all with some of these reports. I'm just like, wow. Yeah. I gotta bring this up too. I do.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard.
I gotta bring this up too. I couldn't believe this. Al Sharpton.
to call a federal office or call a judge's chambers talking about to a slave using a word that rhymes with the N word. Donald Trump himself, their leader, using the term riggers.
Rigged election riggers, not iggers. See, you know, okay.
Of going to Planned Parenthood. They get into the stork bus themselves in the mirror that believe him. Even white people that believe him. You like, I was trying to be nice about the way I say this. You have to be the stupidest person in the world to think Al Sharpton is making any sense by saying that Donald Trump using the word rigger is associated to a racist term.
This woman to call a federal office or call a judge's chambers talking about to a slave using a word that rhymes with the N word. Donald Trump himself, their leader, using the term riggers, which clearly rhymes with the N word. I mean, this is not 10 years ago or 30 years ago when we marched against him on the Central Park Fire. I'm talking about within the last 24 hours, used the term riggers. Is this the kind of party the Republicans want to show the country that they are? There's no wonder independents are running away from them. To identify with blatant racism and blatant violence is not the party that we need. And I've never been a Republican, never leaned their way, but we need a two-party system.
Like, I just don't understand, like, the logic there. If you got people rigging stuff, what do you call them? The English language would suggest that a person who rigs, and you have multiple people who rig, they may be riggers. Why would Trump, he could just say the N-word if he was just racist, right? If the man that freaking racist, he'll just call him the N-word. If all these white racist hillbillies support Trump, and he's just dog whistling to racists, and he's the most racist president, won't he just say the N-word? Y'all claim that the system is racist. You claim that the people are racist. Then why would a racist give a flying flip about saying the N-word? See, they think y'all stupid. They think you stupid. They think that you are too stupid.
Too stupid. I just wanted to play that so y'all can see, like, man, they really, I'm really starting to think, like, man, maybe they do think that we stupid enough to believe these allegations and things going on like this. Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe they do. And if they do, okay. Fuck it. Prove them wrong. Now, this one more story before I go. Y'all, one more story before I go. Because I didn't get to see it, Little Joe. I didn't get to see the whole thing. I had to get back to doing other things. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it like that. Where is it at, y'all? One more story before we go. Hope y'all learned something or seen something that y'all never seen was amazing or seen this before. Hope y'all can like, share, follow. Highly appreciate it. Where is that story? For real? Straight up? Now they want to hide. I seen it earlier. Now that I'm actually looking for it, they want us to hide it. Never mind. Never mind. Gotta share this with y'all real quick. Where we go. Bing, bow, boom.
Newly released surveillance video showing a Cass County gas station customer firing 7 shots at a suspected armed robber, all while holding a 6-pack of light beer.
The shooting seriously injured the suspect, who had armed himself with a box cutter.
Now, the customer waiting to learn if he'll face criminal charges. Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker has those details, all new at 6.
You know why I'm here is how the robber announced himself at the Stone Lake Marathon here in Cassopolis about 3 weeks ago. The video shows the customer holding a 6-pack of Miller Lite as the suspect, dressed in black, bursts in on July 27th. The suspect, identified as a 35-year-old Dowagiac man, pulls a mask over his face. Another angle shows the suspect approaching the store clerk. Police say he threatened the clerk with a box cutter. The customer, who has a valid concealed carry permit, told police he could not see what was in the robber's hand, but he could see the look of fear in the clerk's face. Video shows the customer pulling a handgun and firing 3 shots, then another 3, all while holding that 6-pack. It appears one of those shots hit a liquor bottle. He fired the final shot several seconds later. Bullets struck the robber in the arm, the back, and the face. The customer told police the suspect fell to the floor but was crawling toward him. He held him at gunpoint until police got there. Cass County Prosecutor Victor Fitz says he's waiting for police to finish the investigation before deciding whether to file criminal charges against the customer. Obviously, there are some people who would consider the shooter a hero.
Well, in Michigan, obviously, it's clear that we do have defense of others as part of the law in Michigan, that you can defend others if they're in a situation where there's dangerous force being used against them. And certainly in this case, we'll be looking at the facts in regard to that.
Target 8 reached out to the man who fired those shots, who lives about 4 blocks from the gas station, but he declined to comment. The victim of the robbery would...
I feel it, bro. This is what you need. Shit, hell, I'm glad he did it. I'm glad I had to share this with y'all.
Said, quote, "He saved my life." The suspect was released from the hospital yesterday and arraigned here in Cass County on 3 charges, including armed robbery. Because he's a 3-time convicted felon, he could face up to life in prison. In Cassopolis, Ken Kolker.
But y'all released him. They released him. They released him. So you know he finna flee.
The homeless problem is getting worse. It's not getting better. Crime is getting worse. It's not getting better. Regulations are getting worse. It's not getting better.
People are bailing on California in record numbers.
More than half of Californians are considering moving. It might be harder to find a U-Haul than to find your next home. The exodus.
We ain't gonna talk about that. Y'all, appreciate y'all stopping through and hanging out with me. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Peace.